Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of season 2 at Köln. We start with, actually, a transfer offer. We're out of the window now, but thankfully we're still getting interest in Janus Horn. I'm trying desperately, hopefully there'll be time for this deal to go through if we're able to negotiate it. We tried to sell him yesterday at the end of the transfer window, and unfortunately time ran out on the potential deal to Bordeaux, so I'm not sure if they could have afforded his wages or not. By the time that the deal was going through, it was too late to really be able to tell. We agreed 13.3 with Bordeaux, and we've been able to agree 13.2 with Monaco, and he's not on that much, only £15,000 or so, so I'm pretty confident that that's a deal that will go through. We have Mainz away, AZ Alkmaar in the Europa League, Hamburg at home, and Werder Bremen away in today's episode. We shall play the first two, sim the third, and play the fourth. Make sense? Good. Lukaku continuing on up top. Unfortunately, Anton is out suspended for this one. Well done, pal. Getting himself sent off after just 20-odd minutes in the previous game. Still waiting for Schindler to come back from injury. Still waiting for Skiri to come back from injury. Skiri's going to be a while, though. I've had to call up Bachmann as well from the reserves because he said that he wanted to leave unless he got promoted, so I've called him up to the first team. Still hoping that we can get some decent results today. I was disappointed not to have done so well against Dusseldorf yesterday. I'd like to make amends for that today with some good results in the Bundesliga and hopefully a decent result in Europe too. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Make sure you sub to the channel so you don't miss out on any more of this series. Plenty more to come, of course, from here at FC Köln. But for now, we shall head away from home to the Opel Arena. Müller in goal for Mainz again. Martin Niakate, St. Just at the back as well. Latza sat in that holding role. Dius and Fernandez in midfield with Bosius again sat behind Yaremchuk and Sibachu. It's Brzezinski at right back using his pace. I can't remember what we did against Mainz last time we played them, but I mean, with the way we finished last season, we have to be confident that we can get results in every game. We'll put the result against Dusseldorf yesterday behind us and look to build on what was a good result and performance against Bohemians to get us into the knockout stages of the Europa League. Hopefully we can translate that form to domestic competition. Win that header, please. Mira's done well. Can we challenge for that? We can challenge, but we're not going to win it. Bosius to Yaramchuk, back to Bosius. I am wary of his pace, and it's going to cause me issues here. So many issues, in fact, that he's buried that. Thumping strike. 1-0 down after 11 minutes. We've scored more goals than them this season, but our goal difference is negative, and theirs is level on the same amount of points, I believe. If not, then they're only a point above us. Mainz is still obviously very early days, but unfortunately 1-0 down to start today's game. Not the start we were after. Trezeguet on the counter here with loads of space to run into. We use the short ball there to Schaub. Lukaku just ran offside, but here's Florian Kainz. Good position. Good finish. We'll go and celebrate in front of the travelling fans. That was a top goal. Pleased with that, Florian Kainz on his left foot. When Schindler's back, I'm not sure how I'm going to work my front three. I was thinking about dropping Kainz and moving Trezeguet to the left, putting Schindler back on the right, and still having Schaub at cam. But Schindler could change my mind. Sorry, Kainz could change my mind. And if he continues to do that for the rest of the season, he certainly will change my mind. 1-1. Fernandez. Pefok, put Verstrata. Tracks back from CDM to get the tackle in. That's Brzezinski nicely around the corner there to Pefok. Probably horribly mispronounced that, but never mind. Brzezinski nicely intercepted by the left back Jonas Hector, but still they come forward and we have to rely on Timo Horn eventually to make the stop to keep them out. Now can we go on some form of counter and nab a real late first half goal to go in front? I could play in Lukaku in the middle, but I'm not confident at that stage of being able to properly find him. We'll pull this back to Schaub, takes a touch, gets the shot away, and it's well blocked by St. Just. It will be 1-1 at half-time. Pleased with how we fought back in this. We need to keep it up in the second half. To Boesius. Here's Dius. Down the line to Boesius again. I read that turn back, but it's only fallen to a teammate who thankfully can't shoot to save his life. So we live to fight another day. Come on, lads. I've set Luca Bacchio in this second half to get in behind. I don't know whether it's going to make much of a difference. It's a lovely run by Schaub, this. And Cozziello could poke this to Trezeguet, who's in and will look for a teammate at the back post, but not get it quite to Cozziello. Luca Bacchio still trying desperately to get ourselves this second goal to go in front. Cozziello could go back to Verstrata. He'll let fly. He struck it well, but he struck it wide. Driving forward. Luca Bacchio still rather reluctant to actually drive forward, despite me changing his tactics. Trezeguet will find Cozziello. Drops his shoulder well. Finds Florian Kainz, who's already scored once. Just trying to keep possession. It's going to fall to Jonas Hector. Here's Cozziello. Good save. Oh, and Trezeguet rushed it. And side netting only for him. If it had... Oh, he's offside anyway, so even if it had gone in, it wouldn't have counted. Never mind, I don't feel quite so bad about missing that now. Ep4. Oh, is he onside here? Boetius, he is. Bornell with a lovely interception and turn to ensure that we got away there. Hector looking for Schaub through the middle, but can't get it to him. Latza, there's not long left in this now, and we keep getting caught out here by balls in behind the left back. Win this header, please. Don't know who won that, actually. It was a Hezebue. It's out for a corner. 3 changes, or 2 changes, actually, for me, I think. Cordoba on, and up we go. Özcan on for Cozziello as well. Florian Kainz moves central. Is Kunde. Timo Horn with fingertip stuff. His positioning doesn't appear to be amazing sometimes, Timo Horn, but somehow he's able to spring away and get to them. Boetius with the ball in again. Oh, you could have caught that. You really could have caught that. Özcan will try and close the man down here. It's a good tackle. It's a really good tackle. He's actually been very good, Özcan. He has decent tackling and decent short passing. And outside of that, he's not amazing, but they could be crucial stats. And Trezeguet is going to need some passing here. I just can't turn to get away from Brzezinski. It's going to be a corner. I'll go short. It'll be Luca back here that comes short. We'll turn. We'll find the man on the edge of the box, who I was about to shoot with, but the referee's blown his final whistle. It's a 1-1 draw away from home against FSV Mainz. We had a number of draws last year in the first half of the season that I wanted to stop doing this year. I have a funny feeling. Wow, Frankfurt batter Dusseldorf by 6-0. I was hoping we could sign Rafael Leao again this year and we'd be able to turn those draws into wins as we were able to in the second half of the season last time around. But unfortunately, so far, I haven't clicked with Luca Bacchio. What was your overall profession of... 2 strong defences, I guess. Overall impression, they were very solid defensively. I wasn't, but I have to praise my boys at some points. Boetius was one of the best players of the opposition today. He was very, very good. We'll have to concentrate on what we can do better, because obviously we're not doing well enough right now. But that's the nature of an RTG. We don't want to just immediately, after having a struggle, an indifferent first season, like make a couple of signings and immediately be challenging for the league title. I like the fact that it's taking longer to get this side to where we want it to be. It does feel like a proper road to glory rather than just like a little short driveway to glory. It's AZ Alkmaar coming up next. We had an offer for Verstrata from Atletico Madrid, which I'll turn down. It's AZ Alkmaar in the Europa League coming up next. AZ Alkmaar starting lineup. Giuseppe Petzela in there, as well as Mandiquez, who's up top. Stengs on the right, who's a player that has been mentioned in comment sections for other series. Not seen him recommended for this save yet. I don't recall seeing him in the comment section, but certainly in the stream career mode at Leicester, he was heavily recommended. We'll wait and see if he's actually any good against me here, and maybe we might consider picking him up for this save. I think it was his lack of outright pace that meant that I elected not to sign him at Leicester. I went with Milot Rashica, actually, who's been superb, but he's well out of my price range for this save. Cost me about £40 million, I think, at Leicester first season. So obviously in second season now in this save, he will have grown and become even more expensive. Oh, trying to get that forward, but they've hounded me off possession here. Mandiquez will turn and find a teammate, and here's Jordi Claessy. Certainly a name we recognise, and he's onside here, Mandiquez. Oh, he's not onside here, Mandiquez. We've Victoria Poulsen as well, of course, in our group. And Real Betis, who I would imagine would be the side that would be topping the group. But you could argue for any of ourselves, Betis, and our opponents, they are AZ Alkmaar, that could be winning this group. Schaub's doing really well here, and I'll poke that through, looking for Florian Kainz, who's tried to cross it and fallen over in the process, unfortunately. Can we count him out of possession? No, I'm slightly concerned with the way that it's 4-on-3 right now here at the back. I don't know where my defenders have gone. I've not changed my tactics at all, but everybody just keeps disappearing. They've hit the post now, and Mandikes really needs to have a look at the offside line, because that's twice he's been caught offside now, and twice he could have scored. Here's Stengs played in down the right-hand side. Hector trying to catch him up here. Stengs could deliver. He's taken his time, and he's taken too much time. We've won it back. Florian Kainz. Let's go the other way then, shall we? Florian. Racing. Luca Bacchio, despite having his tactics changed to get in behind, seems rather reluctant to actually do that. Schaub! Oh, no! Oh! Really should have tucked that away. Disappointed that we haven't been able to play it short there. And it's for Strata! Good save by Bizot. Trying ever harder to get ourselves a goal to go in front. I'll pull this back to the edge of the box. There is a man there waiting for it, and it's Louis Schaub. Oh, it's deflected. And we'll have another corner on that far side instead then. Half an hour played almost. We'll see what we can do. Aim it towards the near post. Jorge Mera could be underneath this. The keeper is Cozziello. Oh, is he going to win that header? He is, thankfully. Anton to Jonas Hector. Backing in well. Round the corner there to Schaub, but Petzela steps in. Really even game so far here. Really even game. Waitons. Petzela down the line to Staines. Everything's going through him on this right-hand side so far in this first half for them. But he hasn't had an end product yet. 3 minutes to go in the half. Jordi Claessy will deliver it into the middle. And hopefully away will go the ball, although it is Stengs. Abu Klal. Claessy. I don't like this. He's a way up, and Trezeguet will get to that. Come on then, counter. Oh, he's closing me down quickly. No counter yet. Schaub. Come on, take time. Turn and play it. Let's go. Come on, Trezeguet. You got your first goal for the club yesterday. Can you get another now? Trezeguet! No, he cannot get another goal now. 0-0 at the break. Should be 1-0 up, though, I feel. Claessy over the top. It's a lovely ball. Again, 2 Stengs. I don't think they've attacked down their left-hand side once in this game thus far. Stengs inside there to Jordi Claessy. Back out to Stengs again. When he's gotten a cross in, it has been really well delivered. He just doesn't get the ball in, even remotely, regularly enough. That's a nice ball to Schaub. I've got Cozziello short here, and Trezeguet can make me a run in behind there. And we'll play around the outside the defenders, and he is looking to get in behind. Now, I do have Luca Bacchio in the middle, but I can't get it to him. Wallace heads away. With Hamburg coming up next. That, as we mentioned, will be the simulated game of the episode. Delivered in well. Jorge Mera's up, but it's a poor header. It's a poor header. What do you guys do from corners? Because I can't seem to score them even remotely regularly enough. And I don't know what tactic to use. What set-piece technique, set-piece situation to try and use to stand more chance more regularly of scoring a goal from a corner situation. I really need your advice there. Online it's different because you can kind of count on your opposition making a mistake or mispositioning a player, but the AI is so solid defensively and the heading from corners is so inaccurate that I'm genuinely unsure as to how to address our lack of potency from set-piece routines. Oh, Luca Bacchio doesn't quite have the pace to get away from the defender there. And again, they've got me on the counter-attack time and time again. They've done this, and it hasn't yet had an end product. But again, it's Stengs that's forward. Again, they're looking to get the ball in. I didn't press tackle. I just turned, but he's tripped. Stengs there by Jonas Hector. And no card given. I just turned. Oh, I'm not sure if that's a penalty or not. It's going to be Mandikes, and that's going to be 1-0 to AZ Alkmaar. I don't think that's a pen. I really don't think that's a pen. I think it's just a coming together It was very, very harsh to give a penalty to our Dutch opposition there, but give them a penalty the referee has. Score the penalty they have. 1-0 down we are. Oops. This is a good move. Will it end with a second goal? Certainly hope not. Metzela turns. And away we go with Florian Kainz. Right, counter-attack, lads. Let's go as fast as we possibly can. I see Schaub in the middle there. I've got runners around me. Here's Cozziello. Let me run, please. Here's Schaub and Luca Bacchio. No! That was the chance. That was his best effort on goal since we signed him, Luca Bacchio. Held the defender off well. Shot it towards goal well, but the keeper well level to it, or well equal to it. We'll play him in here, Luca Bacchio. Pull that back. It's for Strata. Hacked away. Oh, how have you missed that header? It's Aguero up top, and the fresh legs will send him in behind. I hope that he's going to commit. I'll bring the keeper out, and he's seen me coming. Azid out Martu. FC Köln 0. We are going to lose our first opening group stage game. Swings that across here to Fagundes. Through the middle to Aguero. Back to Fagundes. Stengs. Double step over. Crosses it in. He's away. We'll get that away and it'll be a corner to our opposition to end the game. Unfortunately, we haven't been good enough here in this one. It's so strange how European football plays so much differently to general domestic football. Not necessarily differently in regards as the style of play, just is so much more difficult. I don't know whether you guys have experienced that yourselves, but as we saw from the first leg against Bohemians in the qualifying round, European football is a step above domestic football. I guess that's more realistic with regards, you know, how things go in real life. We dominated the game chance creation-wise. I just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. They had 2 shots on target all game, and they scored them both. Last I saw, it was 4-1 to Betis against Victoria Plzen. So I don't know what the final result was there. Schaub is playing well. Other players should certainly follow. I don't really think I can praise anyone in that game, though. Fair to say it was a tough match. What do you think went wrong today? I'm not sure. Game plan was not followed. The blame is mine. I don't know if the blame is mine. So I'm not sure. We created the chances. We just couldn't seem to get the ball into the back of the net. Didn't manage to score today. What went wrong? We couldn't play our usual game. That performance was unacceptable. They weren't the better team. We did play our usual game. I'm just going to say the performance was unacceptable. Overall, we have to do better. If we're going to create that many chances, we have to put them away. I can't have any excuses, really. It's Hamburg next. We've had an international offer from Russia. I am going to accept an offer before the 2022 World Cup in this save, but that obviously isn't for a little while. Now, we're currently sat mid-table in the league so far, which is similar to where we were last season at this stage. It wasn't till kind of February, March time that we actually kicked on and went on that really good run of winning like 7 of 8 games to push up towards a spot that eventually gave us European football, even though it wasn't actually a European giving spot. We are 2-1 up here against Hamburg, and Verstraet's missed a penalty. We could have been 3 up, but Wood has scored for Hamburg. Annoyingly, I imagine that's Bobby Wood, and unfortunately it's just a point. We are drawing games again. 2 of our opening 5, but to be fair, we've lost 2 of our opening 5 as well. We're only 3 points off the bottom. We're only 3 points off 7th. Okay, cracking on then. The next game is Werder Bremen, the side that... yes! Janus Horn sold. We will have money to spend in January. Thank the Lord. Pavlenka in goal for our next opponents, Werder Bremen. Bester, Velkovic, Moisander and Gebre Selassie at right back for them. 3 in midfield, Schmid, Perez and David Klaassen, with presumably 3 up top, Sarko, Bartels and Eggestein. They are the team that we lost to by 3-1, was it, on the final day of the last season, where they secured their Europa League spot and we secured, so to speak, 7th place. However, despite them also being in the group stage of the Europa League this season, the domestic season for them this year has been woeful. They are rock bottom without a win in the opening 5 or 6 games and have only scored 2 goals all season so far. So despite our indifferent start to the year, considering where we finished last year, we certainly aren't the worst side to have, or certainly aren't a side to have had an incomparable start to how we played last year. Werder Bremen, it's basically like someone that finished 5th or 6th in the Premier League being rock bottom after 6 games without a win at the beginning of the Premier League season. It's so strange to see Werder Bremen down where they are, considering the side is, as far as I can make out, as strong as it was then. Oh, Luka Bacchio taking that on his weak foot. I thought I'd angled him well enough to take that on his right, but he's taking it on his left, and that is wild from Luka Bacchio. Very wild. Still trying to figure out how best to play with him. Trying to figure out how his finishing is going to work for me. But clearly, we need to make sure that finishing is on his right foot. Maybe we need to utilise Luka Bacchio purely as a winger and still look for yet another striker in at the club. And I think that might be the answer. But we, of course, will need the money to be able to do that. And we've raised some with the sale now of Johannes Horn. And I desperately hope that by the time January arrives, by the time transfer deadline day at least in January arrives, we'll have raised the money to, or sold Modesta at the very least, to have raised yet more money to hopefully be able to bring in someone else. He's Schmid twisting and turning on the edge of the box, but we'll tackle him, although the referee deems that a foul by Schaub. Kingsley Schindler's on his way back from injury, so they're going to take that quickly. So we might well have a change to the starting lineup soon anyway, with, we'll get to that, Keeps, with Schaub moving to Schaub moving to the bench, Kainz moving to Cam, and Trezeguet to the left, and then Kingsley Schindler back on the right. He does have the little plaster symbol next to him in the main menus, so he's not fully ready to start a game. It wouldn't let me start him in the 11, but we can obviously bring him off the bench if we so wish. Lovely urgency from the midfielder there to get to the ball. Thankfully, that's cannoned off Jorge Mera's face, and we'll come away with possession in that scenario. So 25 minutes into the game, against the team that are bottom of the league, we really should be winning this. We really should be winning this. We'll play Florian Kleinz in behind. His goal in the earlier game was taken so very well. He is actually right-footed, but he has a 5-star weak foot. Trezeguet's turned brilliantly there, but Davy Klaassen read it and was able to turn as well with me and stop me from scoring. Get this in here to Schaub, and I'll try and bend it on his left. It's a good save by Pavlenka. Luka Bacchio does a 360 spin when trying to chase down the ball for some unknown reason. Here's Verstraete played in. We'll go back to Luka Bacchio there, and then into Schaub, who has his pocket picked by Moisander. We are the better side so far, the more creative side so far, but after half an hour, there's no goals so far. Lovely ball in. Oh, poor clearance, and it's cost us a goal. Schmid tucks it away. Only their 3rd goal of the season. Terrible attempted clearance, and unfortunately, we find ourselves 1-0 down here. It's not exactly what I was after to start today. Crossing was harmless, but the clearance from Jorge Mera, terrible. Tucked away into the bottom corner. We're 1-0 down. Oh, absolutely typical of our season so far. Sarko on the counter-attacking run. They've got Sevilla next in their Europa League group. Werder Bremen. That's a decent delivery in. And Davy Klaassen actually got to it as well. But thankfully, it was straight at the keeper. That could have been 2-0 and probably would have been game over if they had made it 2 there. Schaub quickly into Luka Bacchio. Driving away. I've got Trezeguet making a great run inside here. I'm going to try and get back onto his right. Feed it to Luka Bacchio, who has his first goal for the club. Yes, Luka Bacchio! It's about time! It's about time now. Can we see a Sabi-esque rise in performance from Luka Bacchio? The touch was quite heavy to turn inside. I thought about playing the extra pass. If I had, it probably would have been intercepted, looking at the way that it played out. But he's tucked in the bottom corner, and Luka Bacchio has his first goal for the club, and I had exactly the same reaction as my in-game manager. Let's go! Luka Bacchio with his 2nd goal for the club, the 1st goal that I scored with him. Scored in a simulated game, of course, earlier in the episode, but I'm thrilled to have finally gotten that. through the door. It's about time he scored his first goal for me in a played game. Now score some more, please. Bartels driving in behind here. Trying to slow him down. Playing this about nicely though. Asako in the box. Cheeky little ball roll and a drag back. Jorge Mera in the way twice. Second time Jorge Mera's attempted clearance has failed to find a teammate though. Thankfully this occasion doesn't cost us a goal for my opposition. Schaub will look to slot Luca Bacchio through. He's taken that in his stride well considering the way it rebounded up at him. Will backheel that to Kainz. Look for Schaub. Go to Kainz again, and I perhaps should have gone to Schaub again. I thought Kainz would be the better option to try and take the shot. And as such, ended up losing possession. Bartels loses position to Jorge Mera here. Trezeguet with good footwork. That was meant for Cozziello, but Bestrata will take it. And Cozziello could thread the needle here and find Luca Bacchio, which he's done well. Looked to try and find Kainz, but can't slot him in. I've got Schindler coming on momentarily. Oh, look at them flood bodies forward here. Werder Bremen as they look for their first victory of the league season, but he's always determined to stop them from doing so. Trezeguet, Cozziello get to that first. Space for Kainz. Oh, the ball that went to Luca Bacchio was meant for Kainz. I didn't quite put enough power on it, so it read it as going to Luca Bacchio instead of Florian. Bestrata out to Kainz. Luca Bacchio's there. Oh, and I can't get it out of my feet quickly enough to get it to Schaub. A frustrating final third to this game as we look to find ourselves a winner. I'm still waiting for my changes to happen, and hopefully Kingsley Schindler does get the opportunity to come on sooner rather than later and have an impact. We'll get that to Trezeguet because he's got some space to get into, and we'll dart down the side of their defence here, and he's in behind Bester. He's still going, Trezeguet, and into the middle. Yes! Florian Kainz on the volley first time! 2-1 Köln! That could be victory for us guaranteed. What a strike. What an unbelievable first-time volley from Florian Kainz. The keeper stranded on the floor after punching it clear, and that's why they need to start catching things. Brilliant volley into the bottom corner. We lead by 2-1. Köln are going to get 3 points, and Werder Bremen are going to stay bottom. Cozziello forward to Luca Bacchio. Schindler actually hasn't touched the ball yet, so I'll play him in down this right-hand side, and we might be able to try and cut them open for a third. Oh, I tried to squeeze it through the gap. It went through the defender's legs instead, but the referee does us a favour. Now, Werder Bremen, when they went 1-0 up, will have hoped that that could have been the turning point in their season. As it happens, it may well be the turning point in ours, as we win for the first time since the opening day. That man, Florian Kainz, who may well see himself starting in a central position where he scored his goal from much more often now, may well see that goal spark a revival in our season. It's still early doors, but to have turned that form around and put a halt to our winless streak, as we did at the beginning of last season. We won on the opening day and then we didn't win for a little while. We've been able to get the second win a lot earlier than we did last time, thankfully. Köln 2, Bremen 1. It was a very tight match until the very end. Your team scored the winner in the last minutes. Luck was on your side, don't you think? Sometimes you need a bit of luck. The keeper coming out and palming it rather than punching it, and the fact it fell straight to Florian Kainz certainly was some luck, but we deserved that. You managed to turn the tide and find the decisive goal, given there wasn't much to split the two sides leading up. Did you have any doubts you'd come away with the win? I trusted we'd give it our all. I trusted that we would come away with the win, considering how poor Werder Bremen have been so far this season. At half-time, I wasn't so sure. Schmid was one of the best players of the opposition today. We just played our game. We don't want to talk about the opposition. We want to concentrate on boosting the morale of our own players to ensure that we can keep winning games, hopefully in a more convincing fashion than we did there. The next game on the 1st of the month is against Real Betis in the Europa League now. Both goalkeepers and Cherlanov the winger going up in rating there with that trading regime. That's a good sign. And hopefully we can see things continue to go from strength to strength now. I'm going to move Florian Kainz central, and Schaub is going to drop to the bench. Clemens is going to drop off the bench, and Schindler will come back into the starting lineup. And what I'm going to do is actually swap Trezeguet to the left-hand side, move Schindler to the right. So, actually, I'm going to take Drexler off and I'll put Clemens on the bench as well. I'm really pleased with that final performance, and hopefully it sparks more positive performances from us over the next couple of episodes. I'm going to just accept that from Salzburg. It's the first offer we've actually had for Rissa. I pray and hope that they can afford his wages, and if they can, it could be another player out the door and yet more funds in our pockets. Scouting report from Belgium and from Croatia to come in. We haven't yet seen anyone that's really that good. There was the second guy we looked at there had a high value, but his potential was pretty low, so it wasn't really worth signing. 47 to 71, 49 to 75, 58 to 72, 74 to 96 has me intrigued, and at 15 years of age that could be something. We'll give that another month. That's a certain no, and that's a certain no. So just Nikola Pavlovic, the only player that we might potentially be interested in from 2 months worth of scouting in Croatia and Belgium. Not the best, but we need to be at our best to beat Betis in the next game. And where did that win in the league take us? Up to 9th. We are up to 9th. Confirmation there. Werder Bremen are bottom with just 2 points from the opening 6 games. 3 goals only. We have 10 goals in 6 games. That's something we weren't doing last year. We were scoring on average 1 a game. Conceding 10 is slightly concerning, but hopefully we can improve on both fronts moving forward. And we're only, 2 points away from a Champions League spot in 4th. It's been a positive. Until that second win, I was slightly concerned, but now we've gotten that second win, it's actually looking like a relatively decent start. We just need to keep that going now. We need to ensure that we do well against Betis as well if we want to stand a chance of getting out the group stage of the Europa League, and I could really do with that money next season. So we will try and do that. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more, and I will see you tomorrow for that game against Betis.